inside the trolley, no smoking, no consumption of alcohol. Because electronic cigarettes, the walking portion of the tour. Any electronic device you have is kept on silent or vibrate. There's no flash charge to be allowed inside the trolley. If you drop anything off this trolley, by law we cannot stop until you retrieve it. If we get up at our second stop, which is the old jail, please bring any personal items you have with you. You'll be back on a different trolley to come back out of the old jail. Lastly, whatever seats you've chosen now, please keep those for the duration of the tour so groups can stay together. If you have any questions about safety or anything else? Alright, please welcome our ghost host this evening, Alexis.
Welcome to Ghost and Gravestone. Just like my loquacious driver said, my name is Alexis and I am your ghost host this evening. Now as we roll along, we will be making 2 stops. The first of which is at Potter's Wax Museum, formerly home of the old drugstore. Then we will be going to the most haunted building here in St. Augustine, the old jail. Now, as we roll along, I will be telling you much about the ghost activity and history in town. Now, some of the exact details have been changed due to legal reasons. Unfortunately, stalking is illegal outside of your ex's Facebook page. However, these stories have not changed. Some for over 450 years. Now also as we roll along, absolutely do have your cameras up, put the flash on and leave it on. Just do us a favor, please do not flash anything in the Flying Dutchman's eyes, because if he can't see, he can't drive, and we're all going to be on the next tour. Now while you have your cameras out, let me go over the few types of ghosts you might capture on your camera rolls. The first of which are shadow ghosts. Shadows that appear in odd places. We also have ecto-mists or ecto-vapors, misty-like substance or swirling forms of energy. They can also be felt as cold spots. We also have orbs. Now, orbs are some of the most photographed phenomenons in paranormal research. They often appear as little balls of light, sometimes followed by a trail, and have been captured as recently as my very last tour. And the creme de la creme, apparitions. Now apparitions are full-bodied human figures in their period costume. 99% of the time you could have an apparition sitting right next to you, dear, and they still will not appear on film. Now also as we roam these streets, we might encounter some souls who do not agree with our plight to the dark side. So they might try to yell something witty or creative like, boo. So if this happens, ladies and gentlemen, I will point to these people out and I will shun them. I will point to them out and scream, not anymore! And you will be followed by a be doomed. Be doomed. Shall we try it? Very excited. I love it. Nobody more! Be doomed!
Be doomed!
Lovely. Now let us begin with my first story, the Ship of Doom. Now in 1821, a supply ship from Havana, Cuba, sailed out of the port and to St. Augustine, where it became moored on a sandbank for 2 days. Now the locals went out to see what had happened, and it was revealed that not one man survived, not even the captain. So the settlers pushed aside the yellowing bodies full of black bile and flies, and gathered the supplies to the town. Now the biting flies brought a gift to this town as well, yellow fever. On your right is the Huguenot Cemetery, built out of a desperate need to bury these yellow fever victims. The iron bars around some of the grave sites are mass graves, some over 12 people deep. Now the walls around the cemetery were eventually removed and bodies spilled out into the surrounding lands, including where we are currently driving. So if you walk or drive by this place and you see apparitions, that could be due to the fact that they died so quickly they still do not know they are dead. One such apparition is commonly seen to your left in between the city gates, and she is affectionately known as Elizabeth. Now, Elizabeth was the gatekeeper's daughter and one of the first victims of the yellow fever epidemic. She's often seen waving in her blue dress and bonnet to cars passing by, before fading into a mist of herself. Now, the shopkeepers along this alley are often asked about this historical reenactor. However, we have none. So if you stand between those city gates and you feel a heaviness in the air, followed by a cold wind, make sure you say hello to Miss Elizabeth if you do. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to make a stop at the Tolomato Cemetery. From there, we will be going inside the Potter's Wax Museum, and we will be off this trolley for approximately 30 minutes. Now, you're welcome to leave your personal belongings behind with the Flying Dutchman, if you trust him that much. But if you choose to bring them along, please do us a favor and do not jump anything over the fence. If you do, you have to meet the St. Augustine Police Department and the corporate offices, and you're probably not getting back till tomorrow. So please hold on to any purses, children, chinchillas, watch your head and step, and follow me to the Tolomato Cemetery.
But it is open every third Saturday from about 10 to 3, I believe. Part of it is to preserve the history. And it's not super well organized, so it's very easy to stomp on your relatives.
Wow.
Now do feel free to fall all the way down, making room for everyone. Now absolutely, this is the time to take out your cameras, put the flash on, and leave it on. Our guests have found the best results with either a burst mode or a sports mode on your camera. Ashley.
I'm
You're
sorry.
hang out next to me.
I'll get up here, y'all, because I can't see.
Tall tomato.
It's actually a trick question. See, Talamato is not Spanish at all. Talamato was the name of the Native American chief who used these grounds, the stream, as their burial site. Before this was a Spanish Catholic burial site. And this could explain all the odd activity commonly seen around here. Strange lights, sharp temperature changes, and shadows moving on their own, as well as a few resident apparitions. You see, the first image is affectionately known, dressed, the obscured face, a veil, long gray hair, a soiled train. Now the boys stuck by their story for the rest of their life, and vowed never to step foot in this cemetery again. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we don't know why these apparitions are here. All we know is that they are here. Now please do watch your head and step as you follow me to the Potter's Wax Museum.
Oh, bless their heart.
Isaac, our brother, see me both here and here. Built this drugstore in 1886. Medicine and medicine technologies were just coming out of their primitive origins. Now, the bottles on the walls behind you contain concoctions of mostly water, grain alcohol, and opium. However, that pales in comparison to what might still be there. Underneath. Absolutely, or at least you didn't care anymore. Yeah. Now, underneath these floorboards, ladies and gentlemen, it is rumored. And this is part of the former Tolomato Cemetery. And not only that, this was the exact burial spot of the chief Tolomato. Now, this belief is so widely held throughout town, the locals often come in just to make sure the large stone totem of Tolomato still has not moved. And this could explain all the odd activity that started happening when this drugstore was first built. Bottles used to tip themselves off the shelves, smashing to the ground. The glass floats in the gas labs would often explode overhead, permanently charring the ceilings above. And this used to happen during embalmings. When an embalmer used to prepare a body, something would happen, making them knock over their embalming jars, making some points in the floor shiny light.
This building has seen much of the history here in St. Augustine. I have saw some very strange funerary practices. For example, did you know that people used to be buried alive? Well, can you imagine waking up in your own grave, cold and dark, scratching at the coffin that your fingernails came out, screaming until death finally came? Well, this terrified most people. So, from the 1700s to 1800s, this led to multiple patents for something known as the safety coffin.
Oh yeah, the bell.
Absolutely, someone's seen that.
Yep.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Tauberger safety coffin. Now, the Tauberger safety coffin had a metal tube that led down to the body, the bell, attached to the top. Now, this bell had a string that attached to the body at multiple points. So, if you found yourself lying in your own grave, you could simply ring that bell and be saved by the bell. So they had to hire someone to sit all night outside our graveyard just in case the bell rang. And this became known as working the graveyard shift. So if you were walking through town and you saw your friend you buried a week ago and you're like, I bought them nice flowers, then you could say they were a dead ringer. Well, you can't blame me for these puns. First of all, they're scripted. They actually come from history. Now, my next story comes from a military journal first published here in St. Augustine in 1823, documenting another one of these strange funerary practices. Now, in 1823, Colonel Joseph Smith was first assigned to our Histories in Marcos, and while there, he met the most beautiful woman in town. Unfortunately for him, she was married. And even more unfortunately, she passed away a few months after their first encounter due to a high fever. Now, being so beloved and lovely, her family requested that she be carried high on a chair, so everyone could gaze upon her face one last time. But Colonel Joseph Smith awaited in the crowd, trying not to reveal his true feelings to the woman to anyone. You see, death had taken nothing from her face. Yet as they passed this chair to the town square, it passed underneath an apopano tree. Now, an apopano tree has thick, thorny branches, and as this chair was passed underneath, one of these thorns dug a deep scratch into her cheek, and she began to bleed. The dead do not bleed, muttered Colonel Joseph Smith, yet they had set the chair next to her grave. Before thinking, the colonel burst through the crowd and said, "Wait, she is not yet gone!" The crowd shrunk back in horror at his audacity, and before anyone could stop him, he knelt to the chair on the ground and gently patted her face. Her eyes fluttered, and the note came. He was right. She was still alive. Now this woman lived here in St. Augustine for another 6 years, and while there, Colonel Joseph Smith documented his wild love for her, as well as a sneaking suspicion. See, around the time of her death in 1830, it was revealed that her husband grew strange plants and dabbled in apothecary practices. Now, could it be some of these strange elixirs still contained on the walls behind you that led to this woman's death? Or her living? And did she go to her grave never knowing about the true love that saved her in 1823? What we do know is that her husband did request they go around the apopano tree the second time. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to scratch the last woman saved her. However, he scratched these wax figures will not save you. So in other words, please don't touch anything. However, it is dark back there, and for the experience, we would love to keep it dark as you follow me into the chamber of Check it out. I'm not hot.
This stuff is old.